Christmas, everybody. It's Dr. Dodge at Alethea Integrated Medical. What was on my mind this week was a car emergency kit. Now, we've been recommended, be careful with traveling, right? It's super cold out, super windy. So just a few practical tips that I always do and implement myself is keep the car full of gas. Normally, I like to run it basically down to fumes before I fill it up again, but in the wintertime, I keep that thing full because number one, you don't know how long you might idle, especially if you go off the road. You might need that full tank of gas, so keep it topped off and all the fluids checked, etc., etc. So then back to the car emergency kit, I keep a bag in the trunk that's specifically for winter. Some of the things I like to put in there is an emergency kit. I made my own, but you can buy one at the store, and that'll have a lot of things like Band-Aids and gauze and things like that. But just if some kind of unfortunate accident happens, you're prepared for that. You probably all know this, but keep your cell phone charged up, bring a spare battery for that, because that's your number one tool you're going to be able to use if you go off the road or get lost or stranded. Remember, if that happens too, don't let the car run constantly, because number one, you use all your fuel. Number two, if you've got your muffler all plugged up from snow, you might get carbon monoxide. So if you do that to warm the car, just do it intermittently. Crack the windows every now and then, get some fresh air in there. Some other things I like to put in there: extra gloves, headgear, hat. I keep a can of the de-icer in there because, again, if the door is stuck or frozen stuck, or it gets the ice off the windshield, that sort of thing. In case you got to go out and walk and somebody get help, first of all, if you can avoid that at all possible, avoid it. Use your cell phone. Second, if you can't, I put a pair of these on my boots, that way I've got traction, but make sure you're geared up. You've got good gloves and boots and socks and parka, face protection. Exposed skin in this kind of weather, you get frostbite in 5 minutes or less. I do a flashlight. I like both the electronic version and the old school version of the glow sticks. Put one of those on the outside of your car, because that way emergency crews can see where you're at, plus other drivers can see, because again, the dangerous part is somebody doesn't see your car and they can then run into you. And if they're looking for you to find you, they'll need to be able to find you. So use that glow stick. Hand warmers. I put a case of them in the car. They're air activated. They last several hours. Can definitely be finger savers. I got a jumper cable in here too. Again, your car might need a jump. I love the commercial batteries that you can actually jump the car with too, so I keep one of those charged up and ready to go in the car. It's kind of fun to put a bunch of Hershey's bar in the car kit, but honestly, if you're out there for long enough to need that many calories from chocolate, it'll probably be about March. So you can put trail mix, you can put candy in there, but water is more important. The only thing with water is it can freeze. So if you're in the car for several hours waiting for rescue, you're going to have to keep the water somehow shaken. So just take your water bottle, shake it up from time to time, and that way it won't freeze. And finally, to get the car out of there, as my cat walks by here, I'm reminded that kitty litter is actually pretty good for traction under the tires. You can use sand, but kitty litter is pretty good to get the car unstuck too. So, hope everyone has a great and wonderful Christmas and New Year's, and travel safely. Take care.